Hey guys,
I'm Jeri.
I'm Ciara.
We're ladies.
And we tangent.
Boom, boom,
Feels
boom.
good, bitch.
Oh, I'm giving all free feet today, huh?
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Hello.
Wow.
Coming to you from my new patio.
We're outside because I'm outside.
What is that?
Cardi B.
Oh.
Out when I pop outside because it's hot out. You was playing games. I mean, you in timeout.
I like when you rap to me.
Thank you.
I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it's a
That
good
makes me
song.
feel
Go
good.
look it up. We wanted to do something different, and also our studio got flooded. So guess what? There was a pump issue.
Mm-hmm.
People in our building, stop putting your products down the toilet.
Yeah, or whatever else you're putting down the toilet.
You're gonna flood your neighbor's building, brother.
Yeah, our rug was wet.
Our rug was wet. Hopefully that doesn't, get moldy. But
Yeah, well,
we're not gonna be there much longer, so
No.
it is what it is. Right now, we're outside. We're at undisclosed location. Oh, you already said it was
in my
your
house. It's my house.
The address is.
This has become, I genuinely feel like this is some kind of a spiritual portal.
Oh, yeah. You'll see this area without the patio if you come to our show, which, guys, is in a week.
Yes.
That is insane to think about.
It certainly is, knowing how much more I have to get done editing.
Yeah. That's okay.
It'll be done. It'll be done.
Happen.
Hey, do today. You know what I mean?
I've always said that.
I'll do my best not to, though. I will.
Yeah. I'm excited. If you want to come to the shows, our first 3 shows are local shows in Ohio. Where's my Ohio people at? Because the last time you guys showed the fuck up, and you are very close, but we have not sold out yet. So tickets are still available for Cleveland, Liberty Township, and Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
That's August 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Yep.
Come hang out. Come watch the show. It's slumber party vibes, but it's for everybody. Everyone is welcome. It's going to be a good time for all.
Yeah.
Our families will be there.
Yes.
And that will be very fun because I don't know that
I
there's
know
things
for sure.
I want them to see.
I know for sure we have family coming to Cleveland, and I know for sure we have family coming to Columbus, and I know we have friends coming to
Liberty Township,
Cincinnati. So
you're going to see maybe faces that you recognize or that you've heard of if you come to any of those shows.
if you listen to other podcasts, maybe.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yes.
Yeah. But one of the reason she mentioned that is because before the patio, we did a little something that you would see in the show right here in this very spot. And I explained it to my friend Mackenzie. So my roommate from college, her name was Mackenzie.
Her name was?
It's still present day Mackenzie. I forgot that Brady didn't know her in college.
Yeah.
Because people who I had relationships with in the past did know her.
Yeah.
And
this is the first one who doesn't know her.
Yeah. So yesterday we woke up, we were sitting out here on the patio, and it was blazing fucking hot because the sun comes up over the hill and just beats down on this area. And so we all 3 sat here and we go, we need a pergola.
Yeah.
And so we immediately went to fucking Lowe's, got a pergola, and the 3 of us sat down and built a pergola together.
I like it.
And I
put a little fan up there because it's still about 90 degrees in Ohio.
Yeah. And I, at one point, was going to ask her for something, and I called her McFuck, which is her nickname from college. And I forgot about that Brady didn't know that was her nickname. And if you don't know that somebody's nickname is McFuck, it doesn't sound like a term of endearment. But it very much is. Yeah. So
you know what's fun is that I didn't realize because she was saying how long it's been since she knew us, and she was talking about Noah. She's like, I can't believe that he's even that old because of how long I've known you both. And I'm like, oh, that's right. She's known me as long as she's known you.
Yeah.
because I used to come up there, and you guys really only have the friendship you do because I didn't go to college.
Yes.
It's all like
Yes, that's
because
true.
of that whole thing, because you guys were roommates, because you and I were supposed to be roommates, and it was
that specific year.
Yes. And you got to pick because of that, right?
I didn't have a roommate. I didn't have a roommate, and she was rooming with someone else. We became friends, living on the same floor.
Yep.
And then a room at the end of the hall came up where people were moving out. I think they were moving into like a sorority house or something.
Yep.
And so I had been assigned a roommate, and I was like, absolutely the fuck not. I'm choosing my roommate.
Yeah.
And so Mackenzie and I, because we were best friends with the RA on the floor.
Yes, that's
we
right.
requested that room, and we got it, and so we moved into that room together.
And I knew the RA as well, right? She's
Yes.
still friends? Okay. Yeah. So I was still there.
Yes.
Let me tell you. I came up. We
when
visited.
my
we
boyfriend
hung
broke
out.
up with me, Ciara drove up to spend time with me.
Yep. Yeah.
Had a Dairy Queen.
Yeah, we went out to parties a couple times. I think I went to like College Fest with you a couple times.
A mess.
It was fun.
An absolute mess.
We had a good time.
Yeah, and Mackenzie was somebody who I always like experienced spiritual things with. She was somebody who I liked to dabble in that world with. If you guys ever hear me talk about how I used to make Ouija boards out of paper, Mackenzie is who I did that with.
Yeah.
And what was interesting is if Mackenzie and I weren't together, it didn't work. So if she tried to do it without me, it wouldn't work.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so she has now since like really honed her mediumship skills.
Yeah.
And she's also getting certified in a few other things. She's in the middle of like creating her spiritual brand, so people can like come to her for either mediumship or like Reiki, or what you and I did, spoiler alert, which is called access bars.
Yeah.
And
Jeri told me, she goes, do you want to come over for a lobotomy? And I was like,
energy
hello? Literally wrote back, hello? And no, but it was,
it was incredible.
It was
but that's
good stuff.
She's been doing that, and like, so she wanted to come and visit this weekend, and it just so happened that the patio got finished being built, and right out here in this area has consistently been the place where we have come and connected
Spooky stuff.
to spirit and just like our energy and our power. And last night was a full moon. It was the Lionsgate portal. And so like
Lionsgate, like the movie?
No, not like that.
Just want to make sure.
It's where the veil is like really thin, and so you're able to like manifest easier. You're able to like.
I wish I would have done that
easier.
I've been so weird recently and blocked up, which today helped big time. But I didn't do any of that, and I'm mad at myself now that I didn't. But there will be other ones.
Yeah, there will be time, and that's
full
the thing.
moons happen once a month, they say.
Yeah, they do. And just because you don't do it like on that specific time where it is like
the energy,
is like heightened, doesn't mean that it's not possible for you to do it.
That's very true.
Other times,
good point.
So it's something you can stay connected to all the time.
That's very true.
Both of my sisters were up here last night, and Mackenzie was here, and the four of us were just sitting here, and I was like, are we a coven? Did we accidentally create like a coven here?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, I feel such a change in myself since having this patio, and it feels so silly because it's like, Jeri, it's a patio.
No, I get it.
No, I wanted this land because I wanted to build a house here because I connected so deeply with the property.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to be outside like this.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like this patio feels like a bridge between my home and the land. And so when I'm here, I feel very connected.
Your family.
This is my Olive Garden.
I love that. No, I get it. Because she did my lobotomy on me out here. And it was just birds chirping, crickets happening, wind going, like rustling through the tall grass that's up there. And I was like,
it's so
I think
peaceful.
I've never been more relaxed in my life. Like I could sleep out here.
Yes.
Very, very peaceful.
It's a crazy, crazy peaceful feeling.
Yeah.
And I think the energy, the like divine feminine energy that we poured into this spot over the last couple days has really like solidified it.
That is a fact.
I feel changed for good.
I think you are.
I think I'm changed for good.
I love that for you.
If you're curious about what access bars is, I was too, because she was speaking about how she had gotten trained in it, and she said it was basically like an energy lobotomy. And I'm like, pardon the fuck?
Yeah.
Pardon, milady?
Milady.
The fuck? And so there's actually like scientific backing to this. If you want to Google it, you can Google it. I'm just going to give our experience with Mackenzie, again, who is someone like that is certified in it, and also that we have a relationship with and trust.
Yeah.
So,
close to both of us.
Yeah. Understand like that this is just us sharing something. It's not us being like, hey, right now, go out and do this. It's going to heal you.
Or that it's like, heal all for everybody.
Yes. But she's like, there is scientific backing. Like they've done like brain scans of people prior to doing it and after, and there is a visual change and healing and growth. And so there is, it's not just woo-woo.
Yeah.
If you need that information.
I'm a big skeptic. And when I tell you immediately when it started, I was like, shit, I'm feeling things. I'm feeling things. I'm seeing things.
It's crazy because
it made me think that EMDR would actually work for me.
That is
genuinely.
That's exactly what I was going to say to you, because
I didn't think it would, but I was like, oh shit.
That's how we started talking about access bars, is because I asked her if she had ever done EMDR. And I kind of explained what it was, and she said, oh, that's similar to this thing that I recently got certified in, access bars, and it's similar to 5 sessions of talk therapy.
Yeah, that's what she said to me.
And also, it's similar to like tapping therapy, which again is similar to EMDR. And I was like, I wonder... I did it this morning, and then after experiencing it, I was like, Ciara's going to be somewhat resistant. She'll be excited to hear about it. But if she hears about this, knowing she could have done it and she didn't do it, she's going to be fucking pissed at herself.
Was I as resistant as you thought I would be?
No. Okay. And yes.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked that you came.
Yeah.
Because she came early, because she's like, you know what, I'll get ready now, I'll come over, because I said, I really think you should do this.
Yeah.
And she was like, all right, I'll get ready and I'll come over now.
Yeah.
And I looked at Mackenzie and I was like, oh my God, she's going to do it. And Mackenzie got giddy. She was giddy about it. So when you got here,
I'm a tough shell to crack too.
You are.
It's a challenge.
You are. And that's why whenever she did it with me, I knew from my EMDR experiences that I am a very visual person. So whenever she started doing it with me, essentially, guys, what happens is you lay down. As long as you don't put your hands together, you can do whatever you want. You can talk, you can open your eyes, you can close your eyes, you can move, you can, like, it's not...
Chill.
Yeah, it's not super rigid. There's no like, oh God, you moved one time and you fucked the whole thing up.
No, it's like kind of however you feel relaxed.
Yes. Yeah. Do that. Talk if you want to talk. Don't if you don't want to talk. Like, it's not a big deal. And just don't touch your hands together. That was the only thing. Yeah. Because you could short circuit the energy.
Which I literally felt she did this stuff with my palms, put her fingers. Put her fingers on my palm. And immediately I was like, oh my God, I feel like I can feel like tingling in my hands. And like, it felt like what she was describing was happening before she said what was happening. And I was like, wait, I felt that before you even said it.
So whenever I was going through it, I was immediately visualizing things. Immediately.
Yeah.
And I almost felt like I was in an EMDR session.
Yeah.
Where I was just laying there and she was touching different points of my head, and I was like stream of consciousness talking about what I was seeing and experiencing.
Yeah.
And it was almost comical in a way, because like I was laughing at certain times. Like I teared up at certain times, but I was laughing at certain times because I could see inside of my head, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for one of the parts, which is the I took pictures of literally all of it. I think it's the implant bar.
By the way, if you're listening to this for the topic, know that we're going to get into it. Just give us a minute.
Hey, you guys at least know what the topic is. I don't even know what the topic is.
Check the show notes to when we skip ahead to it, if that's all you came for.
Yeah.
But I highly encourage you listen to this part too, because it is good.
So the implant band is essentially like targeting thoughts that aren't your own. Targeting thoughts that were implanted to you from other people, from society, from media, all of these
which
thoughts
I have
that
a
aren't
lot
your
of
own.
now. I don't know why I got up at you guys. That's not your fault, but it is a little bit. But it is mostly my fault for letting it implant in my brain. And that was when I immediately felt a release. I got emotional right away. Jeri had to go get me tissues.
Mm-hmm.
My eyes started just leaking. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like when she said she was releasing that, I was like, I didn't realize how much hello, watch the podcast. Obviously that has been affecting me for a long time. And I didn't realize how much weight people's words and thoughts about me had been on me until I could physically feel it lifting.
Leaving from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's almost like something, it's a pattern you learn to do from childhood.
Yeah.
You learn to just take on the thoughts and opinions of other people to help build your sense of self.
Yeah, and that those do hold weight because they're important, because when you grow up, it's coming from people you love. It's coming from people you love. Those are the main people, and you want their validation. You want them to be impressed by you. You want them to be proud of you. Mm-hmm. You love them, and they love you. And that is where that builds from. And then it's something we didn't talk about really ever, because it's hard to ever talk about. But when that weight then is put on you by essentially strangers because you're online, that is a heavy, heavy weight to carry. All of the expectations, because I want to,
and responsibility.
I want you guys to be proud. I want to impress you. I want you to love me in the way that I feel like I love you, but it also is like a push and pull of how realistic is that, because we don't know each other. And there's so many of you. And just one of me, and I'm going to be me no matter what. So
in my brain during that part, I've talked about how I identify a little bit with dissociative identity disorder, or just like a dissociative disorder in general. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I kind of have. There were times where I felt like different versions of me would take over in order to get through certain scenarios, almost like a mask where I wear to perform during that time. Hey, even though you're feeling a certain way, you have a job to perform, or you have duties that you need to fulfill. So mask up and get it done. And so I have different, I don't want to say characters, but it's kind of like characters who would step forward and do that. And so I felt almost the need to explain that sometimes I refer to myself as we. And so when I was laying back, I said me and little me, so we, were kind of talking. So when she did the hand thing with me, I saw myself running through grass as a little kid.
Interesting. And which is really weird, because I also, at the first couple ones, was experiencing childhood. I said
when you started saying that, I was like, oh my God, me fucking too.
And she didn't tell me any of this, by the way. This is the first time I'm hearing.
Nothing would happen to me.
I said, I see a sun-kissed, the pop that I would get. And then I was like, and I'm at a water park. I'm running through the water park, and I could see my mom's perm that she had when we were little kids. And that was the main images I kept seeing. It was so weird.
So I was running through grass.
Okay. See, were yours more more like movie pictures, moving photo? Because mine were just still images almost.
Yeah, mine was movement. Okay. Mine was kind of like what Vines were. That's how I've always described my memories, as short 6-second clips.
Yeah, I was just getting it was someone was pushing a photo
a projector. Almost what were those things in school when we were younger, where they had the light and they'd put put the picture on it and it would project it onto the screen?
I think a projector.
That's just not what projectors look like now, so that didn't feel like the right word.
No, but that's exactly, and they would just put an image up, and it would
the
be
overlay.
Yes, that was exactly what it was just showing me, one at a time almost, but they kept rotating out like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, keep going.
So at the beginning, she'll do your hands, and then she'll go down and she'll do your feet. And when she was at my feet, I told her I feel like I'm sitting on the edge of a pool kicking and splashing my feet. And she said, I've been sitting here swinging my feet. As soon as I touched you, I started swinging my feet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There were multiple times, too, when I was doing it that she would say something and she would be visibly doing something like she was rocking a couple times. And that was like a big thing.
I clocked it because if you guys know, I've said to Ciara before,
I'm a rocker.
You love to rock back and forth.
My parents are both heavy rockers. They love to rock.
Yes.
Like in rocking chairs, that is their form of like...
And Mackenzie doesn't
stimming
know
almost.
Ciara like she knows
Not
me.
at all.
She doesn't know Ciara's family.
No.
And so for her to say, like, I feel like I'm rocking back and forth during a part that was very much like needing a self-soothing thing while you were moving energy, I was like, oh my God, like that's for real.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we got to the implant part, adult me talking to little me, telling her to set down this thing. In my mind, it was like a big orb. It was like this dark rock almost, but it was circular.
Yeah.
She almost viewed it like a toy, like a possession that was hers.
It's like my dogs when I get those out there.
Yeah. So adult me was telling her, that's not ours. That was never meant to be ours. And the orb thing represented people's expectations, thoughts, words.
Yep.
And so adult me was looking at her and saying, put that down. That's not ours.
Yeah.
And she was very resistant, like, but I'm supposed to hold this.
I've been carrying this.
This is mine though. I'm not supposed to put it down.
Oh.
And so it was I kept like saying she trusts me. It's taken a long time for her to trust me.
Yeah.
However, she still is very confused about putting this down. When she first started the implant band, I felt like I was hugging myself.
Yep. Didn't I say that too?
I don't remember. I
was
said, going in and getting you tissues and different things.
At one point I said, I feel like I just got squeezed. Like it's almost hard to breathe. Like when someone really gives you a really intense big hug.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was like, I couldn't get a deep breath because it felt like someone was just like squeeze hugging me.
Yeah. Mine was like I was hugging myself.
Yeah.
Almost like a self-love type thing.
Interesting.
Like, but little me, it was not a hug, but her arms were crossed. So hers was out of fear. She was keeping that like boundary. Protection. They were both forms of protection, but adult me knows it's coming from self-love, and little me was doing it out of fear.
Yeah.
And so I was really encouraging her, like, hey, and of all of the work that I've done, I've built a lot of trust with little me.
Yep.
And so she was really hesitant about leaving this thing. And I was like, you can leave it. And I just kept holding out my hand, waiting for her to take my hand.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the final boss shows up, and it's fucking teenage me. And teenage me,
Jeri is scary as fuck.
Teenage me is pissed that I ever had to carry that thing in the first place.
That's
but
so
she also doesn't want to leave it.
Interesting.
She's almost like, I'm not going to pick it up.
Yeah.
And I'm mad that I ever had to hold it in the first place.
Yeah.
But if I leave it here, then whose problem is it going to be?
Yeah. Interesting.
And I don't want this to end up in someone else's hands because I know the damage it causes.
Wow.
And I was like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to end up in anybody's hands. We just leave it there and we walk away. And she was like, no. And I kept giggling because she was like, she was being a bitch about it. I don't know how to explain
No, I know
way.
teenage Jeri. I get it.
Like, hey, man, I get it. You're pissed. Be pissed. But like,
you are angsty, bitch.
So I was almost like trying to lighten the mood. And I remember holding my hand out to her and she fucking smacked it, like high-fived me. And then almost like a rush, I felt this release of energy, and I saw the three of us playing Ring Around the Rosie in the grass. And so the three of us were holding hands and going in a circle.
Wow.
Then I want you to talk about this portion for you as well, the aging one.
Go.
So there's something called the aging toaster, which the fact that that's what it's called is wild to me.
Yeah.
But the aging toaster is essentially where it's how she positions her hands on your head. And it's talking about how you feel about aging, your body, getting older, people you love getting older, and things like that.
When she put her hands on me, before she even told me that's what it was, I said, I feel rage.
Yes.
I got instantly mad.
Mhm.
And that was the first time I wasn't feeling like okay with the whole situation. I almost wanted to be like, I'm fucking done. And you keep talking about
that was almost like
teenage
you went
Jeri.
from child to teenage Ciara.
I was just gonna say, because you keep saying you saw things a lot, I didn't see as much as I felt.
Yes.
It was like full body feeling. I would feel tingles or like certain sensations.
Zappy
places
is what you
a lot of
described it
zapping,
as.
a lot of hot. Like
Yeah.
it felt like hot.
I didn't
Or
have
I was
that.
getting pains places where I would say, the one time I was like, oh, I just got a really weird pain in my chest. She's like, that's crazy. I just like was working on your heart chakra. And I was like,
Yeah.
I literally felt like I was getting heartburn.
Yep.
Like it was like a deep pain.
Mhm.
But I didn't get images. But yeah, before I was like, what are you on right now? Because I just got pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like immediately mad.
Yeah. And it was age.
Yeah.
And I have like come a long way with myself and my body image, and I don't know that I've shared it much, but I think I've talked about how I've gained weight. I went through, you guys know that I had surgery. After surgery, it changed my body.
Yeah.
And my body doesn't respond to foods the same way. It doesn't respond to exercise the same way. And so I'm now having to, and I'm aging. And so my body's
I mean, babe,
just
we're
changing.
mid-30s now.
Right. And so I realized that before now, I was so fixated on fixing parts of my body because I felt like there were so many parts of my outside life that were in shambles.
Well, again, it's what you told
And
me
it's a
last
control
time.
thing.
It's what you can control.
Yes. And now that I am really happy with my life and
Yeah.
I love my life and the people who are in my life and like the path that I'm on, I look at my body in a way that is like so much kinder eyes, and I'm not feeling like insecure about things anymore that like don't matter, and they never mattered, but they felt so important to me at a different time.
And that was all other people's thoughts put into your brain. So I think once teenage you finally let that shit go, maybe it is easier to because I didn't feel that. I felt pissed. I felt immediately mad. Which I'm working on, but again, mine is all about control, I think, and it's what I feel out of control right now, and that my self-image feels like something I can control, and also that is like, hey, I feel like people online don't like me as much as they used to. What can I do to make that different?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Maybe if I appease them with my
appearance,
they'll like me better. They'll go easier on me. I mean, it's pretty privileged. That is a real thing.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's what's been like being hammered into my brain, but I have been like mad. Well, it's not nice to me because the person I'm taking it out on is me.
Yes.
For that.
Yes.
For not being that.
And also being mad is so valid.
Yeah.
At that.
Yeah.
Us having different reactions, it almost to me proves the legitimacy of the practice.
Yeah, I agree.
Because both of those responses
fit very well to where we're at.
Yes. And so I saw myself aging.
Mm-hmm.
And so the ring around the rosy circle.
Yeah.
I literally said, I feel like I'm seeing myself as an old woman, like I'm a hunk of gum on a shoe type old. Like that I am just like
I am
fucking,
decrepit.
Yeah. Like a sack of skin old.
Yeah.
And the
You're
child
watching
me,
that?
teenage me, and adult me made room and are holding hands with her too. And so like it felt so empowering.
Yeah. Which I did get one vision after my rage, which was after she had like sucked it out. I kept saying that. I was like, it feels like you're sucking it out. It almost at one point felt like a milkshake through a straw because I was like, that is thick. It doesn't want to come out, but it's coming out.
Which is interesting that Ciara described it that way because Mackenzie this morning described it that way to me with certain people. I
was not there for that.
Yes.
So that's crazy that it did align. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass for no reason. If I think that I feel like this is not doing shit, I'm not going to pretend that it is for no reason. Genuinely. If I didn't feel things, which sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't, I just didn't say anything.
The second I saw you get teary, I was like, it's
something's
working.
happening. Yeah.
Something's moving.
But so I did get teary then after it was almost done. And I was like, the weird thing is I just saw myself sitting down shirtless. So I didn't have a shirt on. I had a bra on. But my belly was squishy, which it is. It's bigger. And like I've got, I've had kids. And it looks the way that it does because I've had children. And I was looking down at it. But then it was like all of a sudden I saw my baby. And by the way, the baby was ambiguous. I thought it was Sawyer, but it looked like, and both of my kids look very similar. But it was a baby. It was like a 1-year-old to like a 9-month-old baby. And it laid their head on my belly and like patted my belly. And I was like, oh, like that is not something I should hate. It's like a safe place for them to like, that's a comfort to my children. And why should I care that it's anything else?
Yes. There was one other thing that I wanted to mention, and we can move on, and I can finally find out what this episode's supposed to be about.
Yeah.
But one of the other...
This might be a long episode.
Yeah,
that's
who
okay.
fucking cares?
That's okay.
One of the whatever energy touch points was about power.
Yeah.
And that one to me felt interesting in a way. Like it felt very much like almost like someone had opened my head up. It was really fucking strange.
Yeah.
But this was a stream of consciousness talk type thing. It was less of a visual and more of me just like talking. And what I was saying to her was, I feel like for so long I gave my power away.
Yeah.
Believing that was how I would earn somebody's love and acceptance.
Yep.
Is I would take my power and I would give a little bit to you and I'd give a little bit to you and I'd give a little bit to you until I had nothing left.
Yeah.
And I felt like reclaiming it would have been selfish.
Yeah.
Taking it away from those people that I gave it to would also mean losing the love and acceptance and adoration.
But it did for some people.
And it did.
Yeah.
And it did. But I realized that wanting to control the narrative was ultimately what was making me not be able to reclaim my power.
Yeah, 100%.
And so the only way to reclaim my power was to relinquish control.
Yeah.
But for so long, I operated in this world of I need to control everything. I can give this bit of me to you and this bit of me to you. And so it was like I was draining myself in two different ways, not realizing that if I just let go, I could absorb it all back.
Yeah.
And that I could just fill myself with self-love.
Yep.
And fill myself with self-empowerment.
Well, and that's what I've been trying to tell you, girl.
It was like I already knew that.
Yeah.
And so it was just when she touched it, I just was like, blah, 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 blah. It was like I was giving a sermon. Yeah.
Wait a minute, I'm tapping into something.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. This just said.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I can't remember. I do remember there was one part. Was it that part where it was talking about like, was it creativity and power and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And they're like, could be, a lot of times people feel negative feelings and stuff like that. And I was like, I feel great.
Yes.
I feel like, and Jeri goes, I think that's probably because you've surpassed everything you thought.
That was hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams. That's it.
There's so many, guys.
She said that hopes and dreams, it just kept screaming, hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
I was like, I feel like it's because they were like, you did it, bitch. This is actually farther than you thought you would go.
There was
but
one more
now
time.
there's a scary, like,
what
that's
happens?
scary because it's like, what's next? And also, if I'm at the top, the only way down is down.
Yeah, but I also feel like you don't feel that anymore.
No, I feel pretty
like
good.
I feel like before you were really afraid of that, but right now in this moment, I feel like you don't feel that.
I don't. Because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't really care. If things don't work out, I feel like I've completed what I came here to do.
I feel
on Earth.
well, and I feel like you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like
Because I have before.
and you will again. And so there's like that trust within yourself.
Yeah.
There was one other time you got emotional, and it was when she asked the question, did people in your life growing up make you feel inferior?
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
Showed it.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Then it was like, boom, immediate tears.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I was. Well, again, that was just, I was seeing a lot of childhood images. I was seeing slip and slides. I was seeing people's basements, like kids that we went to school with that we had slumber parties at. So I don't know if it was adults in that time period and it was just showing me my childhood, or if it was like the kids, because I wasn't as well loved as other kids. I think I was just weirder and kind of more standoffish, definitely more shy when we were younger. And I mean like middle school-ish age. Because I started to be very aware of myself and like hate. That's when hate started to happen for me. And instead of being like, oh, like filled with rage, like I think I get now, it was like filled with shame and like embarrassment. And so I would just crawl into my shell, which is kind of what I've been doing again, which is why I brought the topic that I brought today.
What a transition. What is it?
You're welcome. Jeri, I booked a therapy appointment.
You did?
I did.
You did?
I did.
This is huge.
This is huge.
Why the fuck did you let me talk so long?
No, it's okay. It's okay. This is all important. And the person that does it specializes in a special type of therapy, which I've been very interested in for a long time. Can you guess what the topic is today?
Is it OCD?
It's OCD. We're going to talk about obsessive compulsive order and the stigma and misconceptions around it.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yes. It's something that I feel like I'm not diagnosed, so let me just say that I'm not a mental health professional. I am not diagnosed yet.
No, but I think
all.
that this probably coincides with you needing to check out like what's on a menu before you go to a restaurant or seeing what the parking situation is like. It's like, hey, if I'm going to go to this therapist and I'm potentially going to be diagnosed with this thing, I want to at least be informed about it so I don't spiral.
Yes, if that's what it is. And I wanted to go to somebody who was really well equipped in it so that if I told them, they could be like fully yes or fully no.
I'm so fucking proud of you.
Thank you. It's not until September, which is fine. We have tour stuff. So, but I'm so proud of myself as well.
Yes, you should be.
Thank you. Yeah. I've been like,
if you're not fucking clapping in your car or your office or your couch or wherever the hell you are, put your fucking hands together.
You better put your hands up.
This is a stick up.
It's for real. For my mental health. You bitch.
We're gonna bully.
We're gonna bully you back to being somewhat normal. Yeah, because I've been unwell, obviously, and I think a lot of it was I was just freaking out because I'm like, what's happening to me? This is unlike anything that I've felt before. And then I would get these little smidgens of insight where I'm like, that feels like that's an obsession, or that feels like that's a compulsive thing that you're doing. But I couldn't call it OCD because to me, I had a very clear picture of what OCD was, and it was not what I was experiencing at all, which is why I wanted to talk about this. So number one, once again, we'll link below where we got these, but this one is an article called Breaking Down OCD Myths, Dispelling Misconceptions and Stigma. But then it's on iocdf.org. And then there's also a common types of OCD that I have, which is from the nocd.org, like the OCD website.
Also, as always, we are not professionals. We don't know dick about shit.
I'm talking specifically about my own experience, and I don't even know if I have OCD, but if this resonates, take it or leave it.
This is your friends who you had a patio wine night with.
Yeah,
and
that's what we're doing
started
right now.
Talking about some stuff you've been looking up and curious about.
Which, by the way, is what me and Mackenzie were doing out here, which is why we told you to go inside.
No, I
she was
know.
also talking to me
I know,
about
because
that.
her and I have been talking about it all weekend.
Yes.
Because my sister is a mental health professional, and she was here last night, and we were kind of talking about OCD and what compulsions are, and how there's a whole lot of overlap in the mental health community. And
also, it seems like sometimes you can be like, oh, I have so many things, but so many of these go hand in hand.
Well, also, Sam gave me some insight last night that was really fucking helpful and validating for me, who is like embarrassed that I'm collecting mental health disorders like Pokemon. Okay. So she said that in order to start billing your insurance, they have to give you a diagnosis.
Yeah.
So typically they'll give you a
anxiety,
generalized anxiety
which
disorder,
I have right now,
or an adjustment disorder, which is just you are having trouble adjusting to new circumstances.
Sure.
It is a catch-all type thing until they can get enough information to really hone in on what's going on. So the fact that I was diagnosed with a panic disorder and generalized anxiety disorder is like, okay, yes, that was my foot in the door. But the more your mental health professional gets to know you, the more information they have. What the fuck was that?
That was a bee and then a huge ass dragonfly.
Amazing.
They were tussling.
Guys, I'm so sorry. Here's a tangent. I saw a horny grasshopper today.
No, they were fucking.
What I need you to know is that there was a grasshopper right behind where you're sitting right now in this camera, levitating off the ground, just mid-air, flapping its wings. I was like, I've never seen something like that in my life. That looks like a fucking simulation. What is that? And it happened repeatedly. It would land, and then it would jump into the air, and it would levitate and flap its wings and go nowhere. And then it would go back down, repeat the process.
It's like a mating ritual.
And it is.
That's so cool.
And it is. So male grasshoppers will fucking do a mating ritual where they do a performance in levitation.
I'm furious that we're humans because I want men to perform for me to get my attention.
They do.
Could you?
Do they?
Do they?
They do. And if
they don't put on a very good show.
They certainly don't. They certainly don't. I didn't say it was a good show. I just said they put on a show. Anyway, okay. So if you ever feel embarrassed that you feel like you're collecting a lot of mental health disorders and you're like, wow, this resume is as thick as my ass, it's because sometimes they just haven't gotten to know you well enough to give you the most accurate diagnosis.
Because right now I do believe that I probably also have anxiety, but I feel like my anxious thoughts are probably also obsessive thoughts. They're probably also
OCD
intrusive.
Is of the anxiety realm.
Yes. So let me just tell you, what is OCD? OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, which is a mental health condition that occurs when an individual gets caught up in a cycle of obsessions and compulsions. People diagnosed with OCD can have obsessions or compulsions or both, which is a common misconception. Number one, a lot of people think you have to have both to be diagnosed with OCD. It doesn't have to be both.
Correct.
Which I think mine are really
obsessive thoughts.
Obsessive thoughts.
Yes.
And I think because I wasn't doing so much of the compulsions. Oh, I mean.
But the compulsion, that Sam explained this to us too, is that compulsions sometimes can be talking yourself through a spiral.
Yes. Yeah. We'll talk about that. They can be just inside thoughts as well. Obsessions refer to unwanted and intrusive thoughts, urges, or mental images that occur repeatedly and cause you distress. I first figured out that I thought I might have OCD when I saw somebody discussing their OCD, and they said, being inside my brain feels like continuously watching a Final Destination movie. It is every thought of what's the worst thing that could happen here playing out all the time.
Yeah.
And that is literally how my brain works.
Yeah.
I think, what can happen here that would be the most horrific thing we could all endure or witness? And that's what my brain just chooses to put on that projector screen for me. These obsessions can come frequently, causing anxiety and disrupting everyday routines. Compulsions are repetitive thoughts and behaviors that an individual feels the urge to have to do to get rid of the obsessive thoughts. These include behaviors to avoid situations that trigger intrusive thoughts. Like obsessions, compulsions can get in the way of a person's life. So again, a lot of this to be like, what is how is it diagnosable? Like diagnosable is it impacting your life on a day-to-day basis in a very negative way?
Yes.
I think that's a lot of times how they'll like come to a diagnosis.
And you know what's sad is like one of my compulsions, I'm not saying I have OCD, but I do believe I have compulsions.
You can also have obsessions and compulsions and not have OCD,
yes.
by the way.
I think one of my compulsions, because I think, in all honesty, I think everything for me falls under the umbrella of CPTSD.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to give myself something, it's CPTSD.
Yeah.
And that is probably where everything stems from, because everything can kind of stem from it.
Right.
One of my compulsions is skin picking still.
Right.
It's mostly on my...
That's a type of OCD self-harm.
Yes. Mine's mostly on my arms.
Yeah.
Mine's mostly on my arms and my shoulders. And I, for whatever reason, convince myself that it's not bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then I find... Sorry, trigger warning for bodily fluids, but I find blood on my clothes all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
She'll be bleeding at the airport. I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, you're straight up bleeding down your arm.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God. Like, I'm sitting right beside her. I didn't catch her doing it.
Yes. And I mean,
That's
I'm sure
happened
if you
multiple
watch,
times on tour.
I'm sure if you watch episodes, you'll see me doing it.
Yeah.
You'll see me picking. Like, I was editing the last patreon.com/ladies and hinges.
Go check it out. We were outside for that one too.
I was editing that and I was watching myself pick at my head.
Yeah.
I was like, Jeri, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
Like, leave yourself alone. But I can't. For whatever reason, I feel the need to pick. And it's a pick to the point where I have scars all over myself.
It's harming yourself.
Right.
Yep. People diagnosed with OCD tend to engage in all or nothing thinking or black and white thinking.
Yeah.
This means that they think in extremes or absolutes, leaving no room for in-betweens, which I think I always thought I wasn't. I thought I was a very logical, like, I can see the gray. But I think maybe you can attest to this the more time I'm inside my own brain and I speak out loud to you. I think I'm very, like, this will either be really good or really bad, and that's it.
I think you can... Well, here's the thing.
Turn it on and off kind of a situation?
Not necessarily. I think that you can see the gray, and I think you're a very logical person for other people.
Yes.
I think as a form of
Inside
protection
of my
for
own
yourself,
mind.
the gray is not an option.
Yeah.
Because gray feels like there's too many variables that leave you vulnerable.
And me and Mackenzie were just talking about that, where it was like, I can see the gray. I can think the gray is real. But there's a voice in my head that is like, let's say it's a 2% chance that it's not. Are you willing to risk that?
Yeah. No matter what, the gray is not worth.
And then I'm like, well, the risk to it is death for me and my whole family. So no. I guess I'm not willing to risk that.
I guess no.
I don't want to risk that at all. And that's where I think this is like, well, I've said it before, and I apologize now for saying those words. But it felt like a broken way of thinking, like a broken, not correct way of being able to think.
Yeah.
This type of dichotomous thinking happens because people who have OCD have trouble accepting uncertainty.
Period.
That sounds accurate.
Period.
This kind of thinking also can result in getting stuck of a loop of checking, analyzing, doing whatever, like if you're in a germophobia, OCD, cleaning, or a lot of times for me, I will check my phone repeatedly on certain things. Like when I had the cyst, I was checking every single form of it, and I would be like, okay, I know I read that and I saw what it said, but let me check again, because maybe it doesn't know the specific type of cyst that I have, and let me put in a different search, and let me check this, and let me go on this Reddit thread, and it's just checking.
Yeah. Well, and that's something too, as let's say you do have OCD.
Yeah.
As somebody who loves someone with OCD, please be patient with them.
Yeah.
Because this incessant need to repeatedly prove to themselves that what they saw is real, or that they have all of the information necessary to feel safe, like, it's not something that you enjoy doing.
Oh my God, it's exhausting. I hate it.
Doing to, like, inconvenience other people.
No, I think about other people so much. In fact, I think I probably stifle most of it for other people. I think the reason I isolate myself so much recently is so I don't bother other people with how much I do it.
Yeah.
It's upsetting that I feel like I need to sit inside my own house and be alone because I'm like, this is going to make other people fucking hate me. Or hate being around me.
And I want to tell you right now that that's not true.
Okay,
and maybe you don't fully believe me because I think I fall into a category of like a mom or a husband for you.
Yeah.
Like, you're my Jeri, of course you think
right. You have to love me no matter what.
Yeah. But there's been times on tour where like you have wanted to check times of things, or you've wanted to check locations of things, or you've wanted to check like to make sure that like content is ready to go. Like you have wanted to
I'm, like overly checking things a lot.
Yeah, and you've wanted that validation like into the ground.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes I'll be like, hey, I've told you this and it's gonna be fine.
She's firm with me, that's for sure. But like I feel like it's to a point where it's not mean.
Okay,
it's
well,
just,
that's good.
No, not at all. But no, not at all.
But that's why I wanted to say, like,
sometimes I need checked like that to be like, hey, girl.
Yeah.
It's getting to a point, and then it tells
spiral.
my brain, hey, relax. And then I'm like, you're right. Let me go back and chill for a minute. Speaking of tour, well, we'll get to that. Let me try to get through some of these misconceptions, and then I'm going to talk about the subtypes, because there are a lot of different subtypes. And I think tour did it for me, but I think mine started before tour. But let me just tell you, I think why I'm spiraling so much recently is because I had tour obsessions or compulsions where I was very familiar with Camp Tangents, and I had to wear my visor, which was a joke at first, but I had to wear my visor and my socks. It became like if I don't have it on, I won't have a good show.
Yes.
And the way, Jeri, that my brain is telling me this is gonna suck because you can't wear that visor. I know saying it out loud sounds crazy, but I've been like looking stuff up online where I'm like, what can be my visor? But it's like, it's not, it was because it was the visor. And that was what, like, I can't explain why.
That makes me sad.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I can tell myself you had 2 really good shows before Camp Tangents where you didn't wear that.
Yeah.
And you did fine. But it's like not computing to my brain where it's like,
and I think genuinely it might not compute until you have something to prove it wrong. Unfortunately,
there's a type of exposure therapy that we'll talk about where, yes, because I think that's also what I've had to do on planes and things like that. But yeah, okay, we'll get into that. So myths and misconceptions. Number 1, OCD is just being overly clean and organized. A lot of people think if you're dirty or a cluttered person, you don't have OCD, and that is not the case at all.
So very wrong.
It's more complicated than that, for sure. For example, a person with no OCD may enjoy cleaning and organizing, but someone diagnosed with OCD might have an excessive fear of contaminants and a fear of spreading them, which leads to such intense compulsions such as excessive washing. I won't tell you who, it's not my business to say, but I had a friend who was diagnosed with OCD who had such germ subtype OCD that skin was like peeling off of her hands from such excessive hand. She was washing her hands raw.
Yeah.
She was missing work if somebody felt a little bit sick and she thought that they might have like a stomach flu or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like things like that impacting your everyday life.
Does this person also have the phobia of like vomiting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Emetophobia. Yes. And I think that I think there are things that can trigger obsessions and compulsions. And again, I'll talk about what I think potentially triggered mine. Again, this is I'm guessing. I'm not a mental health professional, so if I'm wrong, I apologize. You can leave it in the comments. Please don't yell at me. Okay.
Remember, this is just your 2 friends talking about what they looked up on Google.
Just talking about things.
Yep.
Myth number 2, or wherever we're at now, this might be 3. OCD is a minor personality quirk or preference. It's much more than just a quirk or a preference. because this condition causes unwanted thoughts for people diagnosed with it, and those who struggle with this condition can't easily control these obsessive thoughts or compulsions, even though they will recognize them as excessive or irrational.
Yep.
A lot of times people with OCD will know that what they're doing is irrational, excessive, like they're logical people, but it's not like a delusion thing. It's just like, it's a compulsion.
Yeah.
You can't stop it. And that is really upsetting, because then you spiral into, why am I like this? Why am I doing this? What's going on? Kind of a thing. Another myth, compulsions are always physical actions. This is kind of what your sister said.
Yes.
So compulsions can refer to thoughts or behaviors that a person with OCD uses to get rid of obsessions and reduce anxiety. Examples of compulsive actions include excessive hand washing, toothbrushing, showering, and fear of contamination, or repetitive actions such as going in and out of doors, tapping things, which is I think is one that you see most commonly that you can associate with OCD. Yeah. But compulsions can also be thoughts. For instance, a person with OCD might count mentally when performing a task to end on a safe number, which is something I would do literally when I would drive in a car. I would have to like count to a certain number when I was on the highway, or I thought my mom's car would wreck. Not ever when I was driving for some reason, because I feel in control then. But it was when I'm in the passenger and I don't feel in control. Mm-hmm. I don't do that when you drive, though. Just so you know.
That makes you feel good.
I feel safe when you drive.
Good.
Another example is mentally reviewing past events or conversations repeatedly over over and over. I feel called out to remove doubt. I thought of you when I read that, because I was like,
dude.
Yeah. You'll do it with me. When we were on tour, the amount of times we would go through the same like text message conversations and things that you would have with another person that you would need like an extra set of eyes on, because it would just be like, we need to continuously go over this again. Let's go over it one more time.
I told you.
Let's go over it one more time.
Today read through a document that I received.
And we've both gone over it multiple times on tour.
In February of 2024. Mm-hmm. I went through that document again today. I read it aloud. I made Mackenzie sit here and listen to me read the entire document.
Yeah.
And it's a legal document.
It is
not
hefty.
Fun. Because, oh my fuck.
I know. Myth number, again, if you hear these and you feel like you're pulled to some parts of it, talk to a mental health professional, number one, but also know that it's not a, if you hear one thing that resonates, that means that you for sure have it. So just know that.
Yeah, because
that is why, again, I feel very heavily like this could be something that's been affecting me for a long time. I'm still going to, that is what made me go to a mental health professional, because I'm like, I need your eyes on this. I need to talk to you about this.
Yeah. And even after hearing that, I still genuinely believe that
could
compulsion
be CPS
is still probably linked to CPTSD.
Yep.
God, that's embarrassing, though. That was a very much I feel naked in front of the class moment.
I feel that. Another myth is that OCD is rare and it doesn't affect that many people, when in fact it affects all people of all ages, sex, race, and background, and it can develop as early as preschool for some people.
Oof.
Other people can develop it a lot of times between the ages of 8 or 12, but a lot of times develop it in the early adult years, or even, after a certain event, which again is one thing I'll talk to you about. An estimated 1 in 100 adults have OCD, which is a bigger number than you would think.
Yeah.
For children and teens, 1 in 200 have OCD, and this means that between 2 to 3 million adults and around 500,000 youth in the U.S. are affected by this mental health condition.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a hefty number.
Yeah. I mean, when you compare it to like something like anxiety and depression, which feels like, again, or ADHD, everyone has it.
Like, yeah.
It feels like it almost falls into that category, but you wouldn't think that it would. Like, it doesn't get the same kind of...
Yeah.
It's not the popular girl like the other mental health disorders. You know what I mean?
I know. Another myth, though, everyone has a little bit of OCD. That is not the case.
Also
it's
important.
common for people to say that they're, quote, a little OCD when it comes to cleaning or organizing. Please stop saying that.
Do you remember when Target got in trouble about their...
OCD, obsessive Christmas disorder, or something like that? Why would you do that? What is wrong with you?
Again, how many eyes were on that before it got to the store?
Sydney Sweeney, American Eagle.
Yes.
Anyways, but this act can be dismissive of the suffering of those who are diagnosed, because it's not just like, hey, that picture frame is a little bit off. Can I correct it? It's, hey, if I don't listen to the song when the plane takes off, we're all gonna die. And that's what my brain is telling me. And my body is reacting as if that's a real fact.
Which I can't tell you how many times I had tried to get her to listen to a podcast with me or to listen to a song or watch a video.
I
and
actually
she said,
can't do that.
I can't. I have to listen to Cardi B during takeoff or we're going to die.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Well, it was Cardi B too at some points. It was either Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, Bongos, or Hiss by Megan Thee Stallion. Don't ask me why. It was Hiss. But that song made me feel like a bad bitch, and I feel like I could do what needed to be done.
I could fly this plane if needed.
I feel like Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Got these people so obsessed.
Don't worry about it.
Anyways, okay. Another myth is that OCD is just a phase and will go away on its own.
It's just a phase, Mom.
It's just a phase. I'm just going through something. No, you need to go to therapy, Ciara. It's okay. It requires a diagnosis and treatment under the guidance of a licensed mental health care professional, because when left untreated, the condition will worsen over time.
Yes.
And you can spiral. So
it can become debilitating.
Yes. People with OCD who clock it and get treatment early have a higher chance of success with that treatment. So catching it early detection is really, really good for this condition. Number 7, OCD is caused by a weak character or lack of willpower. Has nothing to do with that. People who struggle with unwanted thoughts and behaviors with OCD means that actually it takes more than willpower alone to overcome the condition, because they can't, it's something that, it's like fighting a war inside your own head.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
Yeah.
OCD is a complex condition that requires the proper treatment under the guidance of a professional. Additionally, the professionals can help create a safe space or a safe environment for patients overcoming OCD, which is really important. Number 8, OCD is untreatable. Not true. It can be treated by a lot of different things, but 2 effective treatments for OCD is exposure and response prevention, ERP therapy, and that's a type of cognitive behavioral therapy. So that's another one, CBT. This involves exposure, or the practice of confronting these intrusive thoughts, images, and situations that cause distress, while doing it in a safe place where you can see that, like, maybe that's what you think is going to happen isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Response prevention involves refusing compulsive behaviors. Number 9, avoiding triggers will cure OCD. Not true. Actually, a lot of times that worsens it.
Yes.
You will become isolated, and then you will just develop new compulsions and obsessive thoughts within your own home. And
because ultimately you're trying to find a sense of control.
Which is what I'm realizing that's happening to me, which is why I finally had to call, because I was like, oh, I'm doing all the things, like I'm not going places, I'm not doing things, I'm trying to figure my own thing out, but staying at home, I'm developing new ones now.
Yes.
And that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good. And myth number 10, OCD is the same for everyone.
Yeah.
Couldn't be more different. Obsessions and compulsions can change over time for people diagnosed with OCD. So you could actually have different symptoms and things over the entire course of your life. It can change. Other than that, the severity of the symptoms can wax and wane over long periods of time. So again, it doesn't have to be like it's debilitating and that means you for sure have it, or, well, it's not debilitating, so I don't have it.
Yeah.
It can come and go in like phases. And I think, again, what's making me really realize that it's like a problem is tour coming up and things going on in my personal life with people in my family and things like that. And it's like, oh God, it's a bigger problem than I thought it was. Yeah. So let's talk about some common types. There are subtypes. So why do subtypes matter? Clinicians don't officially diagnose people by subtype, but talking about them can be helpful. Subtypes can make it easier for people with OCD to recognize they're not alone. They can help normalize your symptoms that might feel frightening or isolating, and they show how symptoms cluster around specific themes, but the underlying OCD cycle is always the same. And it says, know that there's no such thing as a better or worse OCD subtype. Okay, I
want this one.
Taboo themes of OCD are not worse than any other themes, because whatever somebody's current OCD theme is, that's the theme that feels worse to them at the time.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. But
so also that falls under the like, hey, it's not a fucking competition.
No, but there are taboo ones that can feel really scary, and we'll talk about those briefly. But the reason why taboo themes can seem worse is that they often involve intrusive thoughts about things that are illegal, immoral, highly judged by society, right?
Yes.
And for those reasons, they can feel more serious, but they're not, is what this professional says.
I learned about that one.
Yes.
And was kind of scared about it. But then it was about the same time I realized that there were things that I had experienced in my childhood that I hadn't accepted yet.
Yeah.
And so it was almost like these intrusive thoughts that were popping in and were like obsessive, almost like repeating over and over in my head that felt like so dirty and inappropriate. It was almost like, oh, this is happening not because it's my thought, but because it's trying to tell me that I have to process something that I've put off for a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here's the most common OCD subtypes. Contamination OCD is one of the most common.
Yeah.
This is fear of germs, illness, feeling unclean. Common obsessions with this is like, what if I spread an illness to someone and they die? What if the food I ate is contaminated? If I touch that person, I could pick up their negative traits, which I never thought about, but that's very interesting.
One time I painted a cabinet and I thought I killed my grandpa.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. You did. Common compulsions with this one is excessive hand washing, excessive showering or cleaning, avoiding public places or bathrooms, and repeatedly researching illnesses, germs, and ailments.
Yeah.
Which, if you read the book, which I just did recently, which also pushed me to call a doctor, Turtles All the Way Down. That is the one that is very heavy in that book.
There's a podcast. He does a podcast with that too.
Really?
Yeah. And it really helped me. I listened to it years ago when I was teaching, actually.
I was talking to Mackenzie out here, and I said the reason why I thought was the dialogue that was her brain battling with her excessive or impulsive thoughts back and forth was literally how I feel like it is inside my brain all the time, where I'm like, shut the fuck up. That is not going to happen. And then it's like, well, it could. Are you willing to take that chance?
Yeah.
Are you willing to risk your family dying if you don't do this thing? And I'm like, oh my God, no.
Jesus.
No, I'm actually not.
Yeah.
Existential OCD, which is intrusive thoughts about life, death, or reality that feel impossible to answer. So common obsessions could be, what if life has no meaning? Am I really here? Does God or a higher power exist? And common compulsions can be excessive researching or philosophizing, reassurance seeking from others, or checking for signs that you are quote unquote real. Which makes me think that maybe this did happen longer ago than I thought. False memory or real event OCD. This reminds me of you.
Yeah.
What is it? Repeated doubts about whether you did something wrong in the past. Common obsessions. What if I cheated on my partner and I don't remember?
Oh my God.
Did I hurt someone and block it out? Is there something that might come out that will ruin my reputation? Common compulsions. Mentally reviewing memories, asking others to confirm what happened, or confessing to possible wrongdoings that you don't even know if you did.
Okay, I need to tell you guys.
Go ahead.
That the other day, I heard from somebody I haven't heard from in years, like literal years. And they reached out and were like, hey, there was a misunderstanding all this time ago. And I kind of distanced myself because of this situation.
Got it.
I'm reaching out now, realizing that I handled the situation incorrectly. This is what I thought because of what I was told, and now I think differently. My first reaction was not like, oh, wow, hey, good to hear from you. Thanks for reaching out. Hope you're well. It was, I have to find all of my old phones. And when I open those old phones, I have to go through every single text message I have gone through with every single person in this party. I have to re-download Marco Polo to go and watch old videos. I have to screen record the evidence. I have to find a paper trail to exonerate me from a crime that no one is saying I committed.
And by the way, she then messaged me about it. And I was like, hey, girl, I would be careful because I was present and very cognizant when you were going through all of this in real time. And I'll tell you right now, you were not at fault for things. I know, because you showed me every Marco Polo and text message a lot of times.
Many times, because I had spiraled then.
Because you were like, what is going on? Is this me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. The next one is harm OCD. And it's a fear of accidentally or intentionally harming yourself or others. Common obsessions. I could stab my spouse with this knife. I feel like I have this a little bit. What if I drive off the road and kill someone?
Yes.
What if I left the stove on and caused a fire?
Yes.
I think about that with my family often. And those, like, having to go back and check things and turn things off and turn things on and turn things off. And
you know who I think normalized that a lot was Elise Myers.
yeah.
Because she started posting pictures of her stove or pictures of her
Yes.
straightener and saying, like, this is for me later when I've convinced
I think
myself.
that I left it on.
Yes.
I texted Corey today and asked him, did I turn my straightener off?
Yep.
And I know I did, because I turned it off 3 times.
Yeah.
Or I checked before I left 3 times. But then I still had to be like, can you just double check?
Yep.
Can you check that the doors are locked at nighttime? That one is one that I will do. I will do an obsessive checking of doors. Because I'm like, if an intruder comes in and kills me and my whole family, like, that is my fault, because I didn't make sure that the doors were locked. I have a security system, mind you, that is turned on at nighttime.
For whatever reason, tell me if you guys also, and I think I blame our fucking psychology teacher in high school.
We had the same one. Yeah, I see that.
Because I think if I accidentally leave my doors unlocked, that I'm inviting somebody in to hurt me.
Yep. No, I think that's correct.
Okay.
And you can't ask me that, because that is exactly what I think.
Hey,
That's why
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Hey,
you.
I lock the doors when I'm inside the house.
I'm the
every
target
day.
demographic here.
Yeah, 100%. Common compulsions with that one can be hiding sharp objects, avoiding people or places, or repeatedly checking appliances, locks, or roads for evidence or harm. Just right or perfectionism OCD. What is it?
I'm so sorry. I just remembered I made Brady drive down the road to go make sure I didn't hit somebody one time.
Yep. Yeah. I've done that as well, I think,
was
actually.
driving the car with Forrest, and I heard something hit my car. And it
Mine's
sounded
with
like
animals,
a bird.
though, normally, yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like a bird flew into my car. But I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and I don't see anything. And then I was like, oh, my God. But in the time it took for me to hear that sound hit my car, to get to Forest School, I had convinced myself that somebody was dead on the side of the road, and that I would be driving home and seeing ambulances and people all around this body that I had hit.
Yeah.
And so I called Brady on my way and was like, can you please go down the road and make sure I didn't just hit somebody? And he stayed on the phone with me the whole time, and he's like, Jeri, there's nobody here.
Yeah, like,
there's nothing. There's no animal there. And I'm like, what the fuck hit my car then? What is that?
This?
And I'm upset that my brain filled in the blanks with
Human
person.
body.
Yeah.
100%. So the just right or perfectionism OCD is a need for order, symmetry, or precision. This is a lot of times when people say, I'm a little OCD, this is what they're referring to. Yeah. Discomfort comes from things feeling off, not necessarily from fear or harm. So common obsessions, like my books aren't aligned correctly. I have to tap my knee exactly 4 times. This word doesn't sound right unless I repeat it. And common compulsions are reorganizing objects until they feel quote unquote right.
Oh my God.
Repeating actions until the sensation feels complete, or preferring certain numbers or patterns.
Somebody can go back in episodes, and when I am highly stressed, you will see me tapping.
Yeah.
You will see me tapping my fingers. You will see me stroking my fingers like this.
Yeah. I do it with my hair.
It.
I do it with my hair, and I have to do it a certain amount of times. And
until
sometimes
it feels right.
I drive myself crazy because I'll watch myself and I'm like, let go of the hair, Ciara.
Yes.
But like right now, I just did it enough and it didn't feel like
the right amount. No, I know what you're talking about, because I saw someone else explain it as the right amount of times. And normally
when you call attention to it too, now like it's literally all I can think of.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like when I talk about like cracking or something, like then I need to crack my entire body. But
we just both did it.
I know. But I remember seeing somebody say that they had OCD, and the way that theirs manifests is that they have to do something so until it feels right. And it's a different number every time. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just a feeling of right.
Yes.
And that's how I design stuff.
Yep.
Brady came in my office and I had set things up and he moved. My sister got me a little moonstone crow, okay, for my birthday. And he moved it and then he sat it back down and it wasn't where it was supposed to be. And the way I felt rage about it, and he looked at me like, and he moved it even further and I was like, are you insane? Like, what are you doing? And I was not settled until that moonstone crow was in the correct spot. And even hearing myself now, I'm like feeling imposter syndrome, like the traditional people who say they have OCD just because they like to color coordinate things.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a feeling of right.
Yeah.
Of correctness.
Yeah. Of
how many times I have to crack my ankle.
Yeah.
How many times I have to tap my fingers together and what fingers. And like, if it doesn't feel correct, I have to keep doing it.
Yep.
And I have to,
and then you're in a spiral of it.
A lot of times I have to make it even. So if I do it on one side, I have to do it on the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or it doesn't feel right.
Yeah. The next one is going to be very taboo. I just want you to know that I'm just going to say it because it is what's in here. And it's a real thing. But it's pedophilia OCD. Which is distressing, intrusive thoughts about children. These thoughts are the opposite of your values and are not your desires.
Yes.
That part is very important. Common obsessions. What if I'm sexually attracted to a child? What if I did something to a child and forgot?
Yep.
Does noticing a child mean I'm a pedophile? Those are the types of thoughts. And common compulsions will be avoiding places where children are even present, comparing your behaviors to others, and seeking reassurance that you're not dangerous. So,
and that's something that is not talked about often.
Not at all. I didn't know about it until I read this article.
And I saw somebody who was trying to bring awareness to OCD, and they're like, hey, stop making OCD like a cute, quirky thing, because there are taboo forms of OCD that are really fucking traumatizing. To people,
a person
like this one, or like the one where you believe you're going to stab your partner.
Yes.
And
or somebody you love, your children
and
or whatever.
It is not a desire that you have. It's actually quite opposite.
It is. It's the literal opposite, which is why it's so horrifying to you. Because you're like, this is not at all why is this entering my brain at all?
Yes.
The next one is pure obsessional OCD, which is OCD focused on internal mental rituals rather than visible compulsions. So it's common obsessions like, what if I'm secretly a bad person? I feel like you have this one as well. What if I act on a violent thought? What if life isn't worth living? And common compulsions can be silent reassurance seeking, replaying past events for certainty, or mentally checking feelings and thoughts. You can have relationship OCD, which is intolerance of uncertainty about relationships. Common obsessions are, do I really love my partner? What if they cheat on me? Is this the right person for me? A lot of things Jeri's understanding about herself, I think. Common compulsions would be constantly checking relationship, quote, compatibility online, comparing your relationships to others, avoiding commitment milestones. Then there's responsibility OCD.
I was afraid to even like say something about Brady on his birthday because I have like fear of just.
Oh, you mean online?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought you meant to him. I was like, what?
No, not to him. No, I have and I talked about this with Kay, and I kind of mentioned it on our Patreon episode, where I am afraid of doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of making the wrong decision, and I'm afraid of causing other people harm because I've made the wrong choice.
I do feel like a lot of these could be CPTSD related as well, because that seems very, even BPD, to be honest.
Which is why I'm not trying to just like, I have this too. But
no, but it's like there's overlap. And
yes.
I think a lot of that stems from that insecurity of like, am I doing the right thing?
Yes.
Am I doing the right thing? Are people going to hate me for this? Am I a bad person for this?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Can I even trust myself to make these decisions?
Exactly.
Am I just ultimately entering another phase of life where I'm going to ruin things for people.
Mess
and
things up.
5-10 years down the road from now, there Jeri goes ruining someone's life again. Like that is what plays over and over.
And it could be an obsessive thought. It really could. And again, it could stem from either one.
Yeah.
Not a mental health professional. I don't know.
we don't know dick about shit.
Well, I know. Next one is responsibility OCD. I promise there's only a couple more. Excessive worry about the consequences of your actions. So common obsessions can be like, if I borrow this book, someone else will suffer. I might steal something without realizing it. I shouldn't have spent money when other people are starving, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Common compulsions could be seeking reassurance that you haven't caused any harm, repeatedly checking for negative outcomes, or performing rituals to quote unquote protect others. Which is interesting. There's also religious OCD, which is fear of violating religious, moral, or ethical beliefs. I think this is another kind of common one. Common obsessions. What if I prayed incorrectly? I had an impure thought about a religious figure. What if I've lied and sinned? What's going to happen to me?
Yeah.
Common compulsions can be excessive prayer or confession, avoiding religious activities or symbols, and then reviewing memories for immoral behavior and like really going over and over them. Sensory motor or somatic OCD, which is obsessions about automatic bodily functions or physical sensations, which is, again, one where I think I might want to talk to somebody about. Common obsessions. I can't stop noticing my heartbeat.
Oh.
What if I stop breathing while I'm asleep?
Yep.
If I don't blink enough, will I go blind?
Yeah.
Like, those are things that
My
if
eyes are gonna
I will
dry
get
out.
into a spiral of thought normally when I'm asleep, where I'm like, if I close my eyes and I truly fall asleep right now, my heart will stop while I'm sleeping.
The other day she got here before we recorded an episode that will be coming out in October with And That's Why We Drink.
Yep.
So excited about it. But before we recorded that, she was visibly in distress because her hands were dry.
Yes.
And I know that seems silly, but all I kept thinking is like, I have to find her lotion because she is going to be in a spiral
I was panicking.
if she doesn't. Because the sensation would be all you could think about.
It was literally all like, I can't explain why that was what was doing it to me, but that sensation was making me go insane. Like, I was like, I can't think about anything else. And then it almost felt like my skin was going to flake off.
Yes.
And like, that's what I kept thinking about is like, my skin is going to flake off.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have open wounds.
Yeah. And this is something I want to say again to people who love people with mental health disorders or people who love people with OCD specifically is I think we're afraid of enabling people in certain situations.
Yeah.
But there is a way to care for people too by helping them get out of a spiral like that.
Right. Like telling them that like that's not real and that's not going to happen is not going to help.
Or mocking them because they feel it.
Yeah. Or being like, can you just not? No. The answer is no.
Yeah.
The answer is no. I don't know why it's happening.
And now I feel embarrassed about it.
And so I'm going to hide it. And now it's going to spiral inside my own head. And now I'm going to isolate myself.
Or create another compulsion.
Yep. Exactly that.
So that's why my first thought was like, let me
get you lotion at least.
I literally was like, I'll find you lotion. And you were like, not if you have to go upstairs.
Yeah. I don't want to be a burden to you.
What the fuck? I can walk up steps to get you lotion.
Mind
Luckily,
you,
I didn't have to.
Pacing back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, rubbing my hands together.
Yeah, luckily Brady thought this lotion was hand soap and put it in the bathroom down here.
So much. It really did help.
So now I know where the lotion is stat for Ciara.
I have it on me at all times. That's one. I don't know why that's a like sensory thing that will. It makes me feel like my hands are gonna like fall off my body. I can't explain it any better than that. But it's weird. Common compulsions with that is seeking reassurance about physical sensations, distracting yourself from your bodily awareness, or my personal favorite, excessive online health research.
Oh.
Whoa, it's talking right to me. If you looked at my Google right now, 90% of it would be health questions. 90% of it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did what happened last night help at all? Hearing from our dead grandmother, did it help at all?
Do you want me to be completely honest?
Yes.
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. I could tell in your voice when we told you that it didn't help.
I want to say yes.
But and that's what I was going to say, is that you wanted it to help, which is why you asked the question in the first place.
Yeah.
But it didn't help.
No.
So again, remember in the beginning I talked about a coven out here. We
They talked to
channeled ghosts, and our grandma came through
and asked how my health would be.
She wanted to talk to Ciara, and she wanted to talk about Balto and how often Ciara watched it.
Great fucking movie.
And then she wanted to ask Ciara if she still had her ring, which I didn't even know Ciara had one of her rings.
That was weird because I don't think anybody saw me pick that. No. I was not going to go, and my sister did.
I thought you had a necklace.
No, my sister took the necklace. I took the ring.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know you had a ring. And then she just she wanted us to tell Ciara that she's going to be okay, that she's going to be okay and everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. I don't believe it, but I wish I could.
And that's why we're going to therapy.
Yeah, and that's why we're going to therapy. And
also Virginia.
In Virginia, yeah. And
we're going to therapy.
And we're going to go to Virginia. And we're going to go all the way to the MRI. Yeah! We will go on tour. Okay, the next one. Oh, wait. Yeah. Sexual orientation OCD. This is intrusive doubts about your sexual orientation, often opposite of how you actually identify. So common obsessions could be, what if I'm secretly gay / what if I'm secretly straight? And I'm confused.
Okay.
I notice someone is attractive. Does that mean that I'm lying to myself? Or what if I've been lying to my partner for 17 years? Am I actually even attracted to them?
Interesting.
I've had that thought.
No, I've had.
But I love women, dude. It's hard.
Well, no, and I've had that. And I think that's just like on fucking
a little bit of societal
pressures.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been like, am I lying about me being bisexual?
Yeah,
because I fucking keep dating men.
Yeah.
Because I keep having relationships with men.
Yeah. No, you're what we talked about with Mackenzie. We're vibe sexual.
Yes.
The vibe is right. I'm into it.
Yep.
If I've learned anything from my stream recently, CC Streams, go check it out.
I told you this.
I have been dating my furniture, and it's weird, but I'm playing a game called Date Everything, where my furniture comes to life and is a human person, and I'm attracted to everything. All genders, all spectrums.
Yep.
There's non-binary, female, male, femme presenting males, and then male or like masculine presenting females, and I'm into all of it.
Yep.
I'm into it all. Anyways, common compulsions can be avoiding certain people or situations, dating compulsively to prove your orientation.
Interesting.
Or excessive prayer or self-reassurance. And these last two I feel like are very important, and this is why I went into this specifically. So there is magical thinking OCD. What that is a belief that certain actions or thoughts can cause unrelated events.
I.e. me painting my cabinet and my grandpa dying because of it.
I.e. me thinking if I don't have my phone running on a sound that the plane will fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
Yes. So common obsessions can be, if I don't turn my phone off 3 times, something bad will happen. If I check my bank account on a day or month that ends in an odd number, I'll lose my job and won't be able to support my family.
If I step on a crack, I will break my mother's back.
That is actually something that terrified me as a child.
Truly. That's my OCD origin story.
Yes. This one, if I don't text my parents or children before I take off on a flight, the plane will crash. But again, mine was really weird because it was like I have to be listening to a specific sound or the plane will go down. Like that was in my head, and I would tell Jeri that. I'm like, I can't, you don't actually understand. The plane will fall out of the sky. I can't explain it any better than that. And I know that what I'm saying is not real and is crazy. I do need to have my phone. Please give it to me. I need it.
My example, quite literally, I had this cabinet that my grandpa had built me for years in my house. And it traveled with me from my first home to my second home. And I had black cabinets in my second house. And this cabinet was like the most atrocious orange you'd ever seen. And I remember that the person I was with at the time was like, just paint it. And I said, I can't paint it. My grandpa hates painted wood. And he's like, it doesn't matter. And I said, yes, it does. If I paint this cabinet, something bad will happen to my grandpa.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's unreasonable. And I'm like, I don't know, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know. And so I got to a point where I was like, you know what? That is unreasonable. That's crazy. And so I painted the cabinet. And then my grandpa died. And I was like, oh my fucking God.
And that shit will make you spiral.
Yes.
It'll make you spiral.
Yeah.
I was
like, I'm too powerful.
Yeah, well, I was telling Mackenzie out here as well that like our other grandma, our shared grandma, passed away when I was there.
Yes.
I wasn't in the room, but I was at the place where she died, and I was one of the last people to see her. And now I have that thought where there's people in poor health around me, because I also saw my aunt on the day that she died. I saw her that morning.
Convinced that...
And I am convinced that if I see someone, like, that I'm the tie.
So that's why you don't want to go see your grandpa.
Yep. And it's making me sick that I'm avoiding him because I love him, but I am terrified.
But ultimately... I'm going to therapize you for a second.
Please
even though I don't have any credentials.
And I told you, this is all, like, by the way, physical stuff. So, like,
Yes.
when I just said that out loud, I heard it. I sound crazy. I acknowledge that. Inside, my chest feels like it is being squeezed. It is hard for me to breathe right now.
Yes. I feel he is going to pass.
Yeah.
He's not in good health.
Yep.
He has been given a time frame, essentially.
Right. Yep.
So,
which, by the way, you guys didn't know, but that's also why I've been not doing well.
Sorry, you could are you okay if I keep that in? Okay.
Yeah. It's not a secret.
There's a good chance that it will happen after you see him.
Right.
But that's not because you saw him.
Yeah.
It's because it's inevitable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not fair to you to miss out on an opportunity for you to say goodbye, for your kids to say goodbye.
Right.
It has nothing.
Yeah.
What's written out for him is already written out for him.
Yep. No, that's so true. Yeah. That actually made me feel better.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, it really did.
It also felt a little mean when I said it.
No, but it was like a wake up call a little bit, which is like, yeah. We'll get to that. But I feel like that's a part of it.
Yeah.
Common compulsions with this could be counting or repeating actions to prevent harm, performing rituals during certain times of the day or under specific circumstances, which I didn't realize what I was doing on the plane was a ritual, but it was a ritual that I was doing, especially because I had specific songs that I would play at specific times as the plane was taking off. Yep. And avoiding quote unquote unlucky numbers, colors, items, etc.
Yeah.
And the last one, which was the most shocking to me because I didn't realize it, and where I think perhaps this may have all stemmed. Should I wait?
I know.
Are they coming up here?
No, it sounds like it though, doesn't it?
This is I don't know if this is what can cause something, but it is a subtype, and that is perinatal and postpartum OCD.
I wonder if you're more susceptible to have that if you already are in the cycle of doing these kind of thought spirals.
Yeah, because I told you guys I thought I had postpartum anxiety. I didn't realize what was happening. I think was obsessive compulsive thoughts.
Yes.
OCD during pregnancy or after childbirth, often involving fears about the baby safely. So the common obsessions were, what if I hurt my baby? What if someone else hurts my baby?
Yes.
What if my baby gets sick because of me? What if I do something and then my baby dies?
Yes.
Which was all I thought when Sawyer was born. Like, genuinely, I didn't want anyone to watch her besides my grandparents, which is crazy. No offense to them, but like Corey's mom is literally a nurse for babies. Like, she is a labor and delivery nurse. She takes care of newborns all the time. But I was like, no, because if anybody else is watching her, she will die under their care. Mm-hmm. Like, that was not it could happen. It was it will happen. Yeah. So common compulsions is repeatedly checking the baby's breathing or health, repeatedly checking in on people who are watching the baby,
which you did often,
all the time,
even when it was her father.
Especially when it was her father, which is crazy because I trusted Corey. But still, it was like, it's anybody. Someone's going to fall asleep. She's going to have a blanket that goes over her face. She's going to choke. She's going to throw up and not be able to roll herself over. It was everything that I was thinking. It was like, no, it will happen because my eyes won't be on her. And I know to look for those things.
And
because
my eyes are the eyes that work.
My eyes are the ones that are also on Google and
Yes.
Facebook and looking into every possible bad thing that could happen.
Yep.
And that was that was all I did was research what could go wrong, and it just fed those thoughts.
Yeah.
So the other one is avoiding situations that could harm the baby, excessive research about parental safety.
Yep.
So, can OCD subtypes switch over time? Yes, it's very common for themes to shift throughout life, which I think is probably what happened.
Yeah.
New stressors or life events can trigger different subtypes. So probably perinatal, postnatal shifted when TOR happened,
Yep.
I'm assuming. And then the treatment, which I've already told you guys about, is you can have ERP therapy. Also, you can do medication like SSRIs can be used at the same time along with that. And for severe treatment-resistant OCD, transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS, deep brain stimulation, intensive outpatient programs, and gamma knife radiosurgery may all be recommended by a mental health professional. So please, 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 if any of this seriously resonated with you, please seek a mental health professional to see. But that's what I have. That's all there is.
Thank you so much for that.
You're
That was
so welcome.
That was awesome.
I thought so too.
And you know what? I also felt like, and maybe it was the energy lobotomy that we got before.
Yeah.
Maybe it's this sacred space.
I think.
But I really felt like
Good.
there was a different energy here today.
I agree. I fully agree.
Yeah. But that was awesome. Thank you
I
for
think
that.
I need it unblocked. And I hope that let us know if you guys felt it as well. That I'm really curious because I think, that's what I've been searching for. And I think but maybe what we both needed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys so much. If you want more of us, you can find it on patreon.com/ladiesandtangents or live in your face, in person, in pajamas, in a city nearest you. You can find tickets at ladiesandtangents.com.
Go check it out. Come to a show. Girls Gone Mild. It's going to be crazy.
We'll see you soon. And we love you so much. We will see you next week.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.